What is up, RPG nerds? Welcome back to the channel. Sorry it's been a while. I'm going to post a bunch of videos now, try to make up for my mistakes, but aka Christmas and end of the semester finals. But anyway, in this video, we will be ranking all the Final Fantasy games based on their customization system. So in the last video, I did the battle systems, which was honestly kind of hard, just because I was trying to do it without talking about the customization leveling up systems, because I wanted to separate the two, and that was very difficult, especially without the more weird Final Fantasy games that have come out more recently, because I'm just trying to keep the traditional list. Again, for the people who don't like those new games, I wanted to make a video just for them, so you're welcome. But anyway, let's talk about the customization system. So, dang it, I did it again. Wait, I think I can add. Can I add? Yes, I can. Okay. Here we go. We are going to go into here. Oh my gosh, this is the ugliest thing ever. Okay, we are going to add another Final Fantasy IV, another Final Fantasy III. No. Sorry. I forgot about this. Okay. I think those are the only two I need to add. Yeah, okay. Anyway. We will another Final Fantasy IV and another Final Fantasy III. Okay, cool. Anyway, because I think the two different versions change my opinion slightly. Anyway, customization system. Let's go. All right, Final Fantasy I. Oh, this is so much more interesting than the battle system. That's for sure, because it's not just TTB, ha ha ha, ATB, ha ha, CTB. No, this is awesome. Okay. This is probably my favorite thing to talk about, so let's go. Final Fantasy I, we've got the different jobs. Whatever, 6 of them, right? Am I stupid? I think it's 6 jobs. Oh my gosh, I woke up at like 3 a.m. this morning, so sorry about that. We got the different jobs. We've got, of course, the warrior, thief, monk, white mage, black mage, red mage. You get them the upgrades at the Citadel of Trials. I mean, it's a pretty basic, well, I don't know, it's not so basic, but it's pretty basic formula. I mean, pretty nice, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I think it's pretty iconic. I really actually do enjoy the Final Fantasy 1. It's very simple, but it's also, I mean, foundational for everything that came after it. And I think that it is still very fun to get these different jobs and upgrade them. I do like the upgrading. I wish more games did that. I mean, I know that you actually do get upgrades, but like upgrading the jobs you already have, I wish more games did that. So that's cool. Your characters, I mean, you're set in stone once you start the game, so it's kind of different from a lot of later job systems. I mean, y'all know. You've probably played Final Fantasy 1 if you're watching this video, especially the traditional video. I mean, if you're not... Once I make the normal video, there'll probably be some, like, Final Fantasy 15 fans who are like, what is Final Fantasy 1? Ooh, let's look at this. But anyway, Final Fantasy 1 is pretty great overall with this customization system. I mean, it's simple, but it's good. So I'm going to put it in the B tier. I think that's a pretty fair place for it. I enjoy that system. All right, Final Fantasy II. You're probably not going to expect this, but I love Final Fantasy II's customization system. One of my favorites. I don't know. I just love that after like every battle, you gain some stat. You're getting better all the time. I mean, and I just played the Saga 1 and Saga 2 recently, and I totally, absolutely love those games. So I'll talk about those soon. But yeah, I love this type of game. I mean, I just really enjoy. Yes, you can exploit it, but I mean, when haven't you been able to exploit it? It's called grinding in other games. At least what's so fun about this game is when you're grinding, you're not just fighting battles. You're fighting battles with a purpose. And to me, that makes it so much better. I mean, I know a lot of people don't agree, but it's so much better. I love Final Fantasy II. I was trying to talk about the battle system last time without mentioning this, and that was very difficult, because I was just trying to talk about, the bosses, the combat mechanics. But Final Fantasy II's customization system is part of why I love it so much. It's one of my favorite Final Fantasy games. S tier. I think it's absolutely so fun. I typically don't even like games where everybody starts. I mean, literally everybody is kind of the same in Final Fantasy II, but I think that later versions, the ultimate weapons, and the fact that, I mean, Minwoo and stuff and Joseph, I mean, they do kind of come with some innate abilities. I mean, I don't know. So, I don't know. I just love Final Fantasy II. I mean, that's just how it is. So, yeah. All right, Final Fantasy III is pretty good. I actually, we'll talk about that later. Never mind. Final Fantasy III has a great customization system. I like all the different jobs. A lot of things that people don't like about this one, I also don't mind. Like, people are like, well, you have to change. It pisses me off that you have to fight this dragoon boss and you have to use dragoons, or you have to go in this one place and you have to use all mages because you're mini. Okay, sure. But that's what's cool about job systems. You're supposed to be changing your jobs on the fly to try to change it up. Like, what's the point of playing a job system game where you're just... Like, play Final Fantasy 1 if you don't want to have to change your jobs. I mean, that's my take on it. But anyway, I really like Final Fantasy 3. And I think the job system's awesome. I do think that the not capacity points, the fact that when you change jobs, they're weaker in the 3D version is just dumb. Like, I don't know why that's a mechanic. It's so goofy. But it's only for a couple battles, but that's dumb. Yeah, I don't like that. But in terms of the two different games, this is Pixel Remaster and 3D that I'm talking about. I think they're about the same with their customization system. For battle system, I like the 2D versions better because the 3D battles just take forever for some reason. They're so slow. But yeah, in terms of the customization itself, let's see. I don't know. I think I want to have to give it to... I mean, I want to put them both in A tier, but I'm going to have to give the slight edge to the 3D version just because the 3D version has the ultimate weapons and, like, it just feels more rewarding to get to, like, a level 99 on a job. And you just get the ultimate weapons, and there's the Iron Giant to go fight, so leveling up means more, at least to me and stuff. I do like that some of the changes they made in the Pixel Remaster, but I think overall the customization itself, I think I enjoyed a little better in the 3D versions. All right, Final Fantasy IV, very, very different depending on what version you're talking about for me. Heck, you know what? I'm going to there's so many versions of Final Fantasy IV, I'm going to throw in another one. We're throwing in 3 Final Fantasy IVs. I'll make sure that you know which I'm talking about, but okay, we've got one more Final Fantasy IV here. So 3 different versions of the game here that really changed my opinion. So let's talk about the OG version first, like SNES or Super Famicom, or I don't know what else did it release on, PS1. That version of the game, I think, is quite a downgrade from 2 and 3 in terms of fighting. I mean, I like the character. I mean, it really benefits the story, but the combat, I mean, it doesn't suck, but it kind of sucks. In terms of this whole list, there's literally no customization. That's the problem. You don't get to pick anything, like, ever. Like, literally ever. There's no customization. I mean, I think by default, it's probably the worst on this list. As much as I hate to say it, it's just kind of true. Final Fantasy IV OG isn't really my favorite game. I don't know. I mean, it's pretty boring to play. I love Final Fantasy IV, but the original version kind of drives me crazy with the battle system. So, E tier for original version and for Pixel Remaster. I can't even imagine playing the Pixel Remaster version. It would drive me crazy. Sorry, but it's true. I mean, the music is so much better. I don't know. Final Fantasy IV and 6's sound font on the SNES, and all versions other than the Pixel Remaster drove me crazy. I don't like the soundtrack in 4 or 6. that much because of the instruments they chose for it. But the Pixel Remaster music is so... Anyway, sorry, I'll talk about that later in a different video. But all I'm trying to say here is that Pixel Remaster version FF4, I do not like it except for the music. But basically, so E tier for Pixel Remaster and original versions of FF4 because there's like no customization. GBA and PSP versions, I'm going to give the slight edge because later in the game you can change up your party, and that does make things little more strategic. Actually, quite a bit more strategic, and it makes it feel like you actually have some choices, which is good. I mean, I like games where people have their roles, but there needs to be some choice. Like, a good example is, I don't know, Lost Odyssey, where like the mortals, they're still learning stuff throughout the game. I mean, they have their roles, but they're learning stuff. You don't learn anything in Final Fantasy IV. I mean, I know it was for the SNES, but like Final Fantasy III had like so many different jobs, and Final Fantasy IV just struggled in terms of combat and customization. I think 4 for the PSP and SNES will go in D. Sorry, PSP and GBA will go in D. I think by default, relative to this list, I think that SNES FF4 has to go in F. Just because, I mean, I'm trying to fill out every category on here, and that I think that there also deserves... I don't think I'll put anything in E, but I think there deserves to be a gap here to show just how much I don't really think that FF4 for SNES or Pixel Remaster did a good job at all with its customization. It's kind of embarrassing, actually, in my opinion. So, yeah. Now, the DS version is awesome. The augments are awesome. It completely changes my opinion on the battle system. Also... Sorry, the customization system. Also, I mean, another great thing about it is the auto battle thing, where it's a cool auto battle because it doesn't just do whatever you did last. It does what you assign it to do in a different slot. But you can also like mess with the game a little bit and basically have 6 ability. Yeah, you basically have 6. I think it's six ability slots to do different things. You have like different skills and stuff. I mean, if you haven't played the DS version, I know some people haven't still. Definitely the best DS 3D mobile remake. I mean, definitely my favorite version of the game. No questions. Also, it's hard. It's actually kind of, I mean, it's not that hard, but it's a little hard. And that is amazing. Final Fantasy games need some more difficulty for the normal game. I mean, there's super bosses that are hard and stuff, like Final Fantasy X, Final Fantasy 12 and stuff. Yeah, sure. But just the normal game could use a little more difficulty, and I really liked that about 4 for the DS and for the 3D mobile remake. I think that the customization system here is awesome. The augments are crazy cool. I'm going to put this version up in the S tier. I know that's probably crazy, but I love augments. I mean... And it also affects your stats, which is kind of weird after level 70 or whatever, but it's also kind of cool. So kind of funky. I'll probably move it down to A later, looking at the rest of this list, because there's other awesome stuff on here. But for now, it will go in the S tier. I love the augments. All right, Final Fantasy IV, the After Years is pretty cool. There's so many different characters. Bands are awesome. Customizing your party to try to get different cool bands is cool. Customizing your party with this many characters is already cool in the first place. I think it definitely has a big edge over 4 because there's so many characters on your team, and because of that, you're having a chance to customize and stuff. Now, it takes a long time to get to the part where you actually get to choose your party and stuff, so there's still issues here. Overall, I think that Final Fantasy IV The After Years is pretty riddled with issues, but I don't think that... Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, it's like 4 for a long time. with the different chapters. But you're also getting new characters. I mean, it's kind of fun. But the thing is, these new characters also have some other cool abilities. Like Final Fantasy IV, like OG, I mean, you had like attack, white magic, black magic. And I mean, I had like kick and stuff too. But you get a few more abilities in after years. And also the moon phases do help a lot with the strategy. I mean, it's a little change, but it is pretty cool. To be completely honest, it's pretty awesome. And the bands do help a lot. So I don't know. I think Final Fantasy IV, the after years, actually has a pretty cool customization system because you're swapping in party members, because you're trying to find new bands and stuff. And sure, the earlier chapters do struggle a little bit. I'm gonna put it in the C tier. I think C tier. I don't know, because I'm going to put it low B because it doesn't bother me at all. I had fun with it. I like the bands. I love the amount of party members you have by the end of the game. And the final chapter is really fun gameplay-wise. Just customization and all that stuff. So I don't know. I think it's good. Definitely, I mean, not even close to FF4 for like the DS mobile. And this stands for both 3D and 2D versions of the game. I have pretty much the same opinion. I like the 2D version a little better, but not that much. I mean, I like that the final chapter is longer. I wish that the final chapter was the most of the game, if not like the whole game of this. But anyway, I think Final Fantasy IV, the after years, has its issues. It's a pretty mid game, but it's mid. It's not bad, which I can't say about everything on here, so yeah. Alright, Final Fantasy V, this is probably the biggest hot take of the list. A lot of people would put it up here, and I get it, but, I mean, I've played Final Fantasy V a lot. I especially really do enjoy the GBA version where you get the 4 new jobs and all that stuff. But Final Fantasy V is a game where I have pretty much the opposite opinion of most people. I think Final Fantasy V is a way better story than people give it credit for. I think it's hilarious. I think it's emotional. I think it has like one of the best balances of humor and emotion of any game I've played, other than some of the other Final Fantasy games. But I mean, it's amazing. I assume you've played Final Fantasy V, so I'm going to say this, like, Galif's death is, like, probably one of the best scenes ever in a video game, in my opinion. I mean, like, I don't know. Final Fantasy V's story is absolutely slept on, in my opinion. But also, in my opinion, I just I don't like the job system. It drives me crazy. I get why other people like it. I'm not saying you're dumb. I'm not, like, being an absolute idiot here and saying that. Like, I know my opinion's a little bad, but I mean, it just drives me crazy that you learn all these things and you can only have one skill slot. So I'm a warrior. Let's say I've mastered white mage, black mage, thief, blue mage, and I'm a warrior. Nope, I only get one ability. I get my ability that I have, and I get the ability that I learned. And it's, by the end of the game, it is fun as a freelancer with your innate skills and your 2 abilities, or your mime, your innate skills and your 3 abilities. But that takes so long to get there, and learning is fun, but it was very fun the first time, I will admit. I had a blast the first time playing this game, discovering all the different jobs. But I played it again, and the whole time I'm just annoyed that I have so many jobs, so many skills learned that I can't ever use. And it takes all the strategy out of it. Like, in my opinion, I just wish that they made, I don't know, every boss like 3 times as hard. They gave you like 5 skill slots, like freaking Blue Dragon, one of the best games ever. And then, that's probably also a hot take. But anyway, it bothers me. Give me no skill slots like Final Fantasy 3, or don't give me a million different skills to learn and don't let me use them. It's obscene. It's honestly obscene. I don't know. I know people love this, but it drives me crazy. Actually, I am going to put this It drives me more crazy than Final Fantasy IV at this point. I'm going to put this in E. I know that is wild that I'm saying that, but it pains me to do that, but I can't. There's so much magic in the Final Fantasy V job system, and they threw it away because there's like you can't. There's just like no synergy to have, and then you get to a point where all you do is rapid fire everything. And if you know how to play the game, you get the ranger, you go fight those like dang skull eater thingies. In like 10 minutes, you have rapid fire, and the rest of the game is pitifully easy. And then people will be like, well, you don't have to do that. I know. You also don't have to hit yourself in Final Fantasy II, hypocrite. But why wouldn't you? Because some people like to do the most OP strategy because that's how the game works. And you know what? Games shouldn't be that... Games shouldn't be that broken. I don't know. Final Fantasy V drives me nuts. I mean, I love the story. I love the tone of the game. I love the humor. I love Bart's, Gala, Ferris, Krill. Lena's kind of bad, but she's boring as heck. But anyway, Final Fantasy V is a great game, but to me, the job system kind of ruins it. I don't know. That's definitely my hottest take of this video. So if you're still here, thank you for watching through that. You probably won't be that annoyed with anything else you see here. But yeah. Oh, Final Fantasy V. How I wish I loved you like everyone else does. Alright, Final Fantasy VI is awesome to me because simultaneously you get a game where everybody's in set roles like Final Fantasy IV, but you also get different, you can also still customize your characters. So it's not like 7 where everyone, well, 7 has limit breaks, I guess, of course, but I mean, limit breaks are not used often enough in 7 that it really feels like every character is super different. I mean, they are different, but not as much. I think 6 has the perfect balance of like Final Fantasy IV and Final Fantasy VII, where every character has their set role, but they also can learn all this different magic from espers. I think it's really gas. I mean, I don't know about y'all, but I think it's awesome. But I don't think it's the absolute best here. Also, it does kind of have that problem I was saying with Final Fantasy V. You just get... Eventually, in the World of Ruin, you can just go get Ultima, and then everything else just becomes trivial. I mean, first time playing games would probably be a slightly different list. I'd probably put 5 and 6 higher for a first time playthrough, but just thinking about the game and like, you know, actually playing it and all that stuff, I mean, it's just, in my opinion, I mean, 6 is awesome. I love espers. And also everyone has set roles, but they're way different. Final Fantasy IV, it's like white mage, black mage. Oh, here's another white mage, black mage. Oh, here's a white mage and a black mage in one. I'm like, great, thanks, game. And FF6, everyone is way different, and they also can all learn different things. I don't know. Final Fantasy VI is a little magical, honestly. You know, I'm going to throw Final Fantasy VI. Where do I want to put this? I love how you can switch out augments in Final Fantasy IV. But 6 just... You know what? I'm going to have to consult my reviews really quick. I can't decide. RPGranked.com. Sorry, guys. I can't even remember. This one's hard for me. Oh, there's my French ranking. Okay, Final Fantasy VI. Nope. This is very embarrassing. I should have came prepared, but hey, you get to see this website. I'm sure most people have never even gone on the website before. All right. Customization system. Where are we at? 9.5. Okay, that's probably... Oh, but for Final Fantasy IV, okay. You know what? I'm putting 6 above. 6 will go here. I don't think I'm going to move 4 down because I think there's enough. Actually, it'll probably get moved down eventually, but we'll see. Anyway. Final Fantasy VI, I just think has a really good balance of customization of like things you can actually teach people versus the like their innate abilities. And there's just so many cool ones. Like Gao is so cool. I mean, are 90% of his abilities pretty worthless? Yeah. But like Gao and Sabin, like, I mean, why don't we get more characters like that in RPGs these days? I mean, it's awesome. I mean, FF6 is just pretty special for that. All right, Materia though, as much as I love FF6, I mean, I like FF6 so much better than FF7 as a whole entire package. But Final Fantasy VII, the Materia system is way better. I mean, it's so good. It's just so fun. There's just so much customization, so much crap that comes with it. It's just, the linking is awesome, the different leveling it up, and it's super fun. And the different types of materia, and it just looks really cool. I mean, and the fact you're slotting orbs into a sword is just pretty cool. Like, overall, materia is just awesome. I mean, there's nothing else to say except that it's absolutely awesome. I mean, it's also awesome in FF7 Remake. I mean, there's a lot of things I don't like about FF7, as I always say on the channel, but I like FF6 better as a game. But in terms of the customization, it just gets absolutely owned by FF7. So, I mean, I say FF6 is a 9.5 and FF7 is a 10, but FF7 breaks the scales. I mean, materia is really, really fun. I also say that about Final Fantasy VIII. A lot of people hate the junction system. Fair. But I like it even better than the materia system. That'll probably piss some people off. But I just love all the weird menu stat garbage. Like junctioning GFs. I mean, it's so weird. But it's super fun. Like FF8. Now, FF7 has the better battles. I think FF7 has much better balance of menu to battle, like how fun they both are together. They synergize better. Whereas FF8, I mean, it's just like junction, get your strength high and spam limit breaks. Yeah. But actually junctioning stuff is really fun in my opinion. I love how bizarre it is, if that makes sense. It's really fun. I wish more games. Sorry. Have to yawn. I woke up at like 3 a.m. this morning. FF7 and FF8. I wish more games had things like this. I mean, they're just super, super fun games in terms of junctioning and materia. I could go either way. I'm just biased towards the junction system because a lot of people hate on it, and I don't agree at all. But I still think I like the junction system a little better just because it's so weird. At least materia feels slightly more normal. I mean, it's still a really weird system, but like junctioning creatures to you so that you can junction spells to your stats. I mean, it's just weird, and I love it. I love the junction system. I think it's awesome, and I like it better than 7. Tell me I'm goofy, but I like it better than FF7. All right, Final Fantasy IX. I hate the battle system in this game. Like, it's honestly trash. But the customization is not that bad. I like learning skills from abilities, and the skills are pretty cool that you get. Yeah, magic stones are pretty nice, just equipping different stuff. I mean, it's not even close to FF7 or FF8, but, you know, I'll put it in B. I think that's a good place for it. I still enjoy FF3's job system better, and I'll move FF4 the after years down to C. I think that it's pretty good. It's pretty much just there for me. I used to love it as a kid. I thought the idea of learning skills from weapons was awesome, but that was also before my dad let me play FF7 and FF8, so I guess that point is pretty moot. Sorry, MOOT. Also, Yeah, I really liked that. I also didn't get the jobs. I mean, sorry, the augment system in Final Fantasy IV when I was that age. It was a little too complicated for me, I guess. I don't know. I was a dumb kid, but um, I think that part of the problem is that you get all these abilities and it's cool, and then you actually enter battle and you just want to die. I mean, at least I do. Like, the speed is so slow, and entering and exiting battle takes like an hour and like a year and a day, and it's just obscene. And I don't know why it's so slow when FF7 and 8 were totally fine. I don't know. Just, I think I try. I'm trying to disassociate the battle system with the customization system for this video, but FF9 has like my least favorite battle system in any game that I've ever played because how slow it is. I mean, I haven't played any like awful games before because I, avoid those because people say they're bad, so I don't play them. But like, it's like I'd rather play Dragon Quest One battles than FF9. That's how bad I dislike it. So me putting it in B tier is honestly kind of impressive, and I'm fighting my fear of the battle system to give you an unbiased, well, of course it's biased, but like a more non-partisan take. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, Final Fantasy X, the sphere grid, I don't like it as much as a lot of people do. I think that in a sense it's kind of just a convoluted, I mean, it's kind of just a waste of time for a lot of the game because you can only go down like one path pretty much. Or like there's like a little branch and you can like, oh yeah, I can go down this, but then I just go back. I mean, once it really opens up, it's cool. But like there's no really in between oh, I'm in my set role and oh, I have like 14 million AP and now I'm OP and now I have everything. I don't know if I mean, I don't know. I felt like it was either everyone had everything or everyone had their set roles. There was never that time where, actually, for like a couple, I think Mount Gagazet and on, there was like, oh, now the sphere grid, I'm starting to get why it's so cool. And then I just started getting millions of AP at the monster arena, and then everyone became OP. So I think if Final Fantasy X balanced it a little better, I think it could have. I just think that it needed to be balanced so that like halfway through the game you're already out of your sphere grid. Like you're already going around other people. At least that's part of my problem. Also, grinding for the spheres themselves is annoying to the point where I honestly preferred the way FF13 did it. Just the not the actual grid. The grid is way better in 10 than the Crystarium. The Crystarium's even more pointless. But just the way FF10 does it, I just don't like the execution as much as most people. The idea is amazing. I love the idea of the sphere grid, but it just didn't work for me as much on that level because why I love the sphere grid doesn't come until too late in the game for me to really enjoy it. So it's still awesome. I think when I wrote my review, I was a little bit more positive on it than I am now. But I'm going to put it in the A tier. I think from a standpoint that I love the idea that everyone starts in their bubble and expands out and starts learning other people's abilities, but it just comes too late in the game. Unless you want to excessively grind, but excessively grinding is really boring in FF10 because of how linear the game is. And I'm fine with, I like linear games. Like, don't get me wrong. I love FF10. I love FF13. I love Tales of Xillia. Like, I love linear games, but they're not the type of game I want to grind in when you're on rails. Like, at least it's fun. If I'm on a world map, I can at least like walk to a different part of the map or like grind somewhere else if I'm bored of a certain area. You can't really do that in FF10 until the point in the game where again you're just OP and can grind so much anyway. So I just don't really think there was ever the point where it really clicked for me. So I mean, A tier, I still like it better than FF3, but I don't like it as much as I used to. Yeah. Oh, wait. Nope. I forgot. Sorry, y'all. I'm being goofy. I forgot. There's so much more than the sphere grid, though. There's so much more than the sphere grid. There's the armor customization is really cool. The Aeon ability customization is cool. What's the other thing I'm forgetting? Oh, the overdrives are awesome. The overdrive customization is cool. Getting the ultimate weapons is so bad, but like making different weapons and making different armor. Okay, you know what? I was being a little stupid. I forgot about all that. I actually like that more than the sphere grid. Okay, you know what? I don't think it's quite S plus for me, but I'm going to put it at the top of S. Sorry, guys. I'm running on fumes. I forgot how good it really comes together with all that stuff. I think the sphere grid isn't as good as I wish it was. I think it could have been done a little better. Although I didn't ever play with the expert grid, and I've heard that's... Oh, I forgot about the expert grid. Y'all, I'm goofy. With the expert grid, you know what? Y'all, I'm an idiot. I'm putting it up in S+, and I'm moving. I forgot about, like, everything that makes it good. Oh, my gosh. I went on this whole rant being like, this, and I forgot all the good stuff. Oh, gosh. I need sleep, y'all. That's goofy. Okay, anyway. Final Fantasy X-2. I wanted to love this more than I did. I think it just took too long. Okay, this actually has the problem as I was saying about FF10. It took too long to get a bunch of abilities and actually be able to switch. Like, garment grids are awesome. All this stuff is awesome, but the game is just too easy. Like, if the game was like 8 times harder and garment grids actually felt consequential and the jobs didn't take 400 years to level up, I think I would like this more. I think on paper, I love this. I love the whole... I mean, I like dressing up. It's funny. It's cool. I think it's great, but it could have been so much more. It could have been an amazing job system. I mean, it is a good one. I'll give it that. But I'm going to have to put it at the bottom of A. I still prefer FF3, honestly. I think that it's too long to level up, and garment grids and special dress spheres, and like, it just missed potential in my opinion, where the game is just too easy to justify all the, like, there's so much complexity, so much cool stuff the game throws at you, and you don't have to use any of it because the game is just too easy. And also there's this whole crazy creature capturing system, but it's just so, like, throwaway, barely mentioned, like, you barely do anything with it, and the arena where you fight with the creatures is so unbelievably boring. It's just like, it just wasn't executed as well as it could have been. It's still really good, but it could have been better. And I'll probably end up moving it down to B now that I'm looking at the rest of this list. So that's unfortunate, but yeah, the execution wasn't my favorite. Alright, Final Fantasy Dimensions is going to go... I mean, Final Fantasy Dimensions did what I wanted from the Final Fantasy V job system. I know some people get bothered by JP, and I get it. That's fine. That's it. My guess is it was just to stop from being too OP, which is fair, but the game's kind of easy anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But anyway... Sorry, I need to not wake up at 4 a.m. again. I was yawning again. Okay, anyway. Final Fantasy Dimensions is what Final Fantasy V is for everyone else, to me. Like, I don't know if that made any sense, but what I'm trying to say is I like Final Fantasy Dimensions job system. I think it's really good. I don't know. Yeah, I think it's really awesome. I mean... Yeah, I think we're going to have to start moving this curve down a little bit to start having more A tier. I couldn't say this is an S tier system, but I'm going to put it... I think I still have more fun with augments, though. And the difficulty of Final Fantasy IV really helps. I want to put... This has P abilities, though, which are really cool. And it has the... No, okay, I'm going to put it right here. It just has so many cool jobs as the P abilities, which are the combo moves. And yeah, Final Fantasy Dimensions, I mean, I don't feel like it used its job system as well as it could have just because of the game. I feel like Final Fantasy V kind of had the job system somehow just like meshed with the story and the vibes a little better for some reason. I don't know if that makes any sense. Probably just because Final Fantasy V is way more discussed, and that's why I think about it more. But Final Fantasy Dimensions had a way more fun job system. Now the story's more boring. I mean, the whole game is still more boring than 5, but Dimensions has like a fundamentally much more fun job system in my eyes, and I think it's way. Also, remember that these are pretty much this. You know what? Why did I even separate these? I don't know anymore. Okay, anyway, but yeah, I don't think Final Fantasy Dimensions could be called an S tier system by any means, but it's really fun. Also, the way the freelancer type thing works in this game is very interesting, because once you like master all the job, well, it comes so late in the game when you're grinding super bosses to max out the game. So I mean, I don't know. So, but freelancers are cool in this game. Now, are they way more pointless than in 5? Yeah, but that's the thing though. You get to the end of the game and you're not just freelancers using rapid fire. You're actually using different strategies for different characters, using different P abilities. Oh, this game is awesome. You know, I might actually move it up to S for now. Probably for about 5 minutes, because some other game's going to dethrone it. But I'm going to move it to S for now. I think the P abilities and all that stuff is awesome. All right, Final Fantasy Dimensions 2, very slept on game. I mean, it's not the greatest game of all time, but it's a very solid game. You kind of have like, you have these different espers. You summon. A lot of people haven't played this game, so I have to describe it. You have these signets, which you have 4 of them. They're kind of like materia, and you can summon them once per battle. So in that way, they're kind of like espers, but they give you different abilities, and you have to. Each character can have 4 abilities at a time, and I'm pretty sure, right? Yeah, I think you can have 4 at a time here. Let's find an image. For the people who haven't played this game. Okay, here's a picture. And they all of these really cool, like, they have artwork for all of them. And the reason it looks like this and stuff, it was originally a gacha game, but it became so much better. But yeah, you get... Oh, that's what it was. Yes, you can you master the different skills, but you also have the... whichever ones are equipped, you can summon, but you can learn all. See, master. So you master the different abilities, like materia. No. Materia you have to have equipped. You master them like FF9, and then the ones you equip though, you get to summon, and they all have different stats like materia. So, I think that system's honestly awesome, because everybody is learning stuff throughout the game. They have different summons. They have all this different stuff. But there's still customization, even if you've learned all the abilities, because you want to... There's different summons, and every character is different. And, oh yeah. Oh my gosh, I forget how much I enjoyed this game. Bro. Not even gonna lie, this is going in S tier. That's crazy, but honestly, yeah, that's gonna go right there. And because games where everything you learn you keep, I love. Like, that's what drives me nuts about 5. Like, if I learn a skill, I want to be able to use it. Whereas, like, I mean, at least in Final Fantasy VII, I mean, you have tons of materia. You can use all of it. You can equip a ton of materia. So, Final Fantasy Dimensions 2 honestly is awesome. Play that game if you haven't played it. It will surprise you. It's actually really fun. I mean, you don't walk around, but you don't walk around in tactics either, and that doesn't seem to bother anybody. So, it's a really cool game. You should play it. It's really fun. Okay, next, if you haven't played it. If you've played it, there's probably like 10 of us who've just game. There's more than 10 people who've played this game, but not that many more. It feels like. But Final Fantasy Mansions 2, fun game. I used to. My band teacher was a load of crap, awful guy, to be honest. So during jazz band class, sometimes I just hide out in the bathroom and play FF Dimensions 2 to try to get away from that beast of a man. So that was fun. He yelled at us and called us worthless anytime we missed a note. It was obscene. But great times, not because of my band teacher, but because I loved telling him I had chronic stomach problems and going and hiding and playing FF Dimensions 2 on the toilet. It was fun. Okay, you probably didn't need to hear that. TMI. But anyway, great game, fun game. Yeah, that's up there, honestly. Very, very slept on. Okay. Final Fantasy Tactics. What did I say in my review? I think I trashed on it because I'm an idiot. I don't think RPG. Oh, no. I think I trashed on something else about it. I don't think it was the... No. I want to see... I gave it a bad... not a bad score, but I don't think... Oh, I gave it a... Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Final Fantasy Tactics is very cool because you get a bunch of different units that have their own like special abilities, like the OP Cid or like Agrius, I think that's how you say her name, or Mustadio and all these people, and you can get Cloud, and it's just a good time. You get all these different, you can have all those different people, but obviously there's also the amazing job system that's just wild. The game is super unbalanced in like the most crazy, chaotic way, and it's fun. I do wish that, I don't know, I feel like there's just not, if you want to use any of the I feel like you have to play the game like so many times to actually be able to use all the jobs, which bothers me. Just because you don't really have enough time to like master all of them unless you grind so long. And I don't like games that make me play multiple times because I don't have time in my life for that. But, I mean, Final Fantasy Tactics just was very deep gameplay. I really like it. I think it has one of the best job systems for sure. I think objectively it's better than... Yeah, I want to put it right here. I do think it's objectively better than 6, but I just love learning things from Espers and how each spell has a different multiplier and Gao. I don't get me wrong though. I think FF Tactics is better, but again, I think the biggest drawback for me is the fact that to actually be able to learn everything, it just feels like you have to play so long. Or just not use any of the special characters. Because, I mean, I played the whole game and I was always OP and stuff, but I didn't even get to learn like half the jobs. I didn't even get the arithmetician. I didn't have enough time to get the arithmetician because I already beaten the game. Or like any of those other cool jobs everyone talks about. So, I mean, that playthrough. But like, it's just... I feel like you have to choose one or the other, and that kind of bothers me. But other than that, it's awesome. FF Tactics Advance, this game always is stuck in between Tactics and Tactics A2, because I love the story and the gameplay and the story and the battles and Tactics, but some of the other random things bother me, like the random counters and a bunch of other stuff on the map, the lack of cool side content or whatever. But anyway, and then A2, I just love the battles and the different races and all that stuff. And Tactics Advance just feels like the middle child, and I don't really care about it, honestly. If it weren't like if it weren't for me just thinking that A2 is just a better version of this in terms of battles, like customization, maybe I'd have it higher. But to me, this is probably not objectively right, but I'm going to put it right here. and move FF1 down to C, as much as I hate to say it, but you don't really get to choose that much. I think that it's fine, but I don't think it does the chaotic wackiness of Tactics or the like very cool learning race system thing that's in A2. So I don't know. I don't think Advance is particularly great in either category, but I still think it's okay. I mean, it's fine. I think let's say if this were the only Tactics game, I probably would have it higher because it's fine, but I just think the other two did it so much better. Whereas, like, pretty much every customization system is so different on this list, and then Tactics is just overshadowed by A2, like, completely, in my opinion. So, yeah, it's a weird one for me, where it's, like, still above average, but it's not memorable. So, yeah. Tactics A2 is honestly going to shoot up to here for me. I love this game. I know a lot of people don't, but I mean, Tactics A2 story is absolute rubbish. It's trash. I mean, I don't remember the final boss. I mean, I remember Adele and Sid being good characters, but that's all I remember about this. But in terms of customization, it's just awesome. I love that the different races have different jobs that they can learn, that you learn everything from weapons, and it's just, and going to the bazaar, crafting things at the bazaar is just so fun to me. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I love this game. Its customization always makes me smile, and it's just, I love it. I love that all the different races, again, I love games where people are set in stone, but they can still learn and equip stuff. I don't like, I mean, I say that, but Final Fantasy VII's materia system and FF8's junction system are somehow transcendent and special enough to avoid this. But typically RPGs where people have like a role, yet they still equip skills and have stuff to do. Like Final Fantasy IV, I hate that they have roles, but they don't learn anything. They don't have any skills or anything. Whereas I love the FF Tactics, all these different races have like 5 jobs each, and there's like customization there, but it's also limited because Final Fantasy Tactics, everyone can get so OP. This is kind of backwards of what I was saying about. But I don't ever feel like there's a moment in A2 where I was too OP. There's never a moment where it was just very balanced, and I really appreciated that about the game. Something I can't say about Tactics, because Tactics is either like you're dying really badly or you're creaming everything. I just like the balance in A2 better, and I love they actually made me enjoy. I mean, they took what I loved about FF9, they took what I loved about Tactics, they took what I loved about FF12, they just bundled it up in this amazing, super fun game with an awful story, and it's just a really fun game. Really like it. If the story wasn't as like a 1 out of 10, I would probably try to tell people this is one of the best FF games. Unfortunately, that is not the case, but yeah. All right, now we get the World of Final Fantasy, and World of Final Fantasy is actually kind of goated. The battles are kind of boring, but the customization itself is awesome. It's like Pokemon meets the Sphere Grid, and in terms of actually like going in the menu and like looking at all these, like the fact that you're capturing like Pokemon, they have like no abilities and it's boring as heck. I mean, they learn things, but you don't get to pick anything. It's stupid. I think Pokemon is one of the most overrated things in the world. I mean, the monsters themselves are amazing. Like, I love them, but the games are kind of trash. Now, this is not trash. This is awesome. Monsters with sphere grids, like, we need this. Also, I mean, the branching isn't that important, but you also get to like morph into like different versions of the monsters. I really, really thought this was cool. Definitely one of the coolest. Oh, and stacking things is just so fun. My favorite part of World of Final Fantasy might have been, I mean, I think the dumb humor was probably my favorite part, and the fake out ending and all that stuff. But I also loved just spending time in the menu. And when you can get me to love spending time in a menu, that is a feat. You know, You know, I'm gonna have to. I also love that you could like dress up as the different FF characters, and you could get like, I don't know. I remember Lightning being pretty OP. Oh, it was so fun. I love stacking monsters, and World of Final Fantasy is super awesome. Love that game. I was a little goofy. With my review, I gave it way too high of a score, but still. Really fun game. Making those stacks and stuff was awesome. And the music is great. Anyway, you know what? I think it does the sphere grids better than... In a sense, it does the sphere grids better than FF10. Because throughout the game, I was capturing new monsters, and the whole time, it gave me more of what I wanted from the sphere grid than the sphere grid gave me from the sphere grid. So I'm going to put this up. I think I'm being a little weird with how many S pluses I have. So let's put this down in S. And FF10 in S. And move FF2 down to A, which is fair. It was a little too high, I feel like. All right, that looks good. We've got a bell curve now. Okay. Although this is 2 Final Fantasy 3s. That looks ugly. Okay, never mind. Okay, we're keeping it there. All right, this is my ranking. Again, I really like FF4DS. Remember that those Pixel Remaster OG, GBA PSP. Let me know down below what you think. Thank you all for watching this video. Also, stay tuned for more Final Fantasy rankings for the new year. Also, I need to start announcing this at the beginning of videos instead of the end of the videos, but I am actually developing my own RPG. I'm really excited to start telling people about it. But if you would like to... the idea is I want to make like a democratic RPG in the sense that I want to be the catalyst for what people want. So I want to make an RPG where like it's the people who are, they're like kind of designing the game, whereas I'm just like the one making it. So I'm really excited to start talking about that more on the channel. But if you're excited to hear about that, subscribe, tell your friends to subscribe. If you have the luck of having friends. But anyway, thank you all for watching this video and have a fantastic day. Peace out, RPG fans.